Wines du Jour on the road. We're going to Baja California, just south of the state of California, as you probably know, and on the west side of Maine, Mexico. More specifically, we're going to Ensenada. And in Ensenada, we're going to the Rosarito Beach Hotel. When we get to the Rosarito Beach Hotel, we're going inside to their gourmet room. We're going to do wines du jour at their beautiful gourmet room. It seats 125. That means that 2 of the 4 walls are glass. What that means is if you look out one side through the glass, about 200 yards, you're looking at the Pacific Ocean. I mean, that's how close it is. The beach and the ocean right there at Rosarito Beach Hotel. On the other side is glass as well, looking at the pool and also at the Rosarito Beach Hotel. Now, Chef Nick has done just a beautiful job putting the food together, and we've gone to one of the wineries in Baja California in an area called Guadalupe Valley. In fact, the winery is called Adobe Guadalupe Winery. And we're going to do 3 of their wines along with some of the food that the chef's putting together. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just 1 receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.
If you've been to California, in Southern California, there's a town that everybody in the world knows about, is San Diego. And if you get on the freeway, that's I-5, going south for about 30 miles, you're not only in another country, Mexico, or specifically Baja California, but you're down here in the city of Rosarito Beach. And in the center of Rosarito Beach is one of the best hotels in Baja California called Rosarito Beach Hotel. Hugo Torres owns it. His son Daniel runs it, and they have found themselves about a year ago one of the best chefs they could possibly have come to this hotel and revise the food. Let me tell you, you're about to see some pretty interesting things. The chef's name is Eric Sains. He's sitting here with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about how he got into business. Casa Blanca is the gourmet restaurant, very unique. It has walls on both sides made of nothing but glass. The view of the beach is one thing, and the swimming pool and people having a good time on the other side is pretty nice, but more importantly, white tablecloths. The servers here are first class, and the food is outstanding, not to mention the wine list, because as we all know, wine is food. So I want to introduce you to Chef Eric. Chef, thank you very much for inviting us to come to Casa Blanca. I want to talk to you a little bit about the menu. You've been here for a year or so. When you first came, and some of the privileges, if you will, that go along with being an executive chef coming to a new location, you get generally an opportunity to write a new menu, and maybe also a new wine list. So with that in mind, I want to ask you how you found some of the ideas that you have on your menu, because we're going to show 3 of them this evening. A great appetizer, a wonderful entree, and a really cool dessert that people have heard about, but we're going to do a little, maybe a twist on it to some extent. But before we talk a little bit, I want to mention that you spent some time in Japan.
Yes.
Which means when you cook in Japan, we don't mean on the beach, we're talking about working as a chef in Japan. You learn a lot of techniques and so on that are strictly Japanese. Guess what? That influences your thinking as a chef, and when you come to Mexico, some of those things come along with you. And one of the things we're going to taste tonight is a sesame tuna. Tell us a little bit about how you got in the business, because you've been able to really generate your enthusiasm and passion for food and work literally all around the world. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it was originally in college, taking some classes and wanting to learn for myself how to cook at home. But then I learned that being a chef, when you learn the recipe, you don't just learn what ingredients go with what. You learn the history of where the dish comes from. You learn the science, so the techniques and the passion that you have to have. This is a business that without passion and love, no matter how good your technique is, you're not going to succeed.
But the passion to make it taste a little extra good
Yes.
is what it's all about, isn't it?
It is, and I found here in Mexico and all over the world, there's talented people, but the ones that succeed is those that want to have that love, that have that extra detail. A lot of my dishes, most of my dishes have a lot of detail in it, and the reason is we don't just want to throw the food on the plate.
Right.
We want to respect it, we want to love it, and we want to pay individual attention to every aspect of the dishes, as we will see, and especially here in Baja California, where we have our Pacific Ocean and great seafood, and as you will see with the tuna and ceviche, but also the regional products. The vegetables are amazing. As well as I can get here certified organic vegetables and custom grown vegetables grown. So I'm extremely happy to be here, to be able to utilize the product of Baja California.
Well, you know, since the late 1800s, there was a group of 125, as it turns out, Russian people came to this area and started farming. They were excellent farmers. And what they've done is actually improved on farming. They've discovered and taken into place sustainability and organic and so on. So you as a chef and all the other chefs in the Baja California area love to get vegetables local, yes, because not only are they fresher, but they also are healthier for the customer. And you and I both know that's part of the passion, is to make sure that what you get a chance to serve is something that's going to be beneficial, not just simply tasty.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Therefore, like, I don't have a freezer in my restaurant. It's one thing I'm very proud. We don't have a big truck that comes every day and brings some vegetables. We actually do go to the fresh markets and we pick our vegetables there. And we go with the fishermen and we bring our tuna from there. We go early in the morning. But that way we can also pass the value to the customer, to our guests.
Let me ask you about your kitchen. When you first came here, I don't know if you kept the staff or how all that worked, that's not that important, but have you found it difficult to find people to come work with you that have that passion, or is it pretty easy to find them, because there's a lot of people that do?
Actually, most of my crew right here are the same people that work here when I came in. We also have a school, a couple culinary school, that every month or so send us different students to come and train with us.
Boy, what an opportunity for a student to come work in a gourmet restaurant with a chef like yourself and people that have the same type of a passion that they know they need now. Maybe they didn't know it when they first started school, but they know now that there's a difference between reading a recipe and serving really quality food. So that's a good thing. Well, I have to tell you that this is really an exciting thing for us. What I want to do is I want to take a break, and when we come back from the break, I want to show the folks just an appetizer that you happen to have put together, simply called a shrimp margarita. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after these messages.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.
Welcome back to Tableside Du Jour. We're about to experience one of the favorite appetizers that Chef Eric has put together, simply called shrimp margarita. That looks great. Now, when you say shrimp margarita, I mean, margarita tells me that another Mexican item called tequila
Yes.
is almost in all margaritas, so you have to have maybe a little, here, tell us how you put this together.
It's ceviche margarita. This is a ceviche and it's a classic recipe of Mexican dish. We took it and we modernized it. Put a modern touch to it. And we added tequila in everything, every single ingredient that you have in a margarita. So if you like margarita, you will love this ceviche. Again, utilizing the fresh product from Baja California, the fresh shrimps that we get, and it has become one of the most popular items here at this restaurant.
Well, it looks beautiful. I know it's not very expensive, but it's sure good. And the question is, the shrimp. Do you grill it? Do you fry it? Do you broil it? Do you bake it? What do you do with it?
It's actually cooked in lemon juice, and the acid of the lemon juice can cook it.
So it's ceviche. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, ceviche just simply means that it's the item that's been cooked with acidic flavors, and in this case, lime juice. You could use lemon juice, lime juice, grapefruit juice, and everything to do ceviche, but generally it's lemon, lime, and this is what he's done with shrimp. Cut it up, lime juice, let it sit for the proper amount of time,
Yes.
and you want to make sure you don't overcook it.
Yeah, because you can't overcook it.
Overcook it and make it a little bit mushy. So it's cooked just properly. You don't have to worry about it not being cooked on a stove. It's just as healthy and just as cooked in that lime juice. This looks wonderful. Let's take a little bite.
Go ahead.
Wow, that's really good. This is really very tasty. Now, you have some other items. You have some scallops on there.
In here?
No, on your appetizer menu.
Yeah, we have.
One of them, if I remember right, the scallops are sashimi style.
style.
Comes from your experience in Japan.
In Japan.
I'll bet that's outstanding. How did you put that together?
Again, because of the products that we have here, Japanese food is very fresh. It's very. But one of the things when you work in Japan is a lot of it does come frozen.
Right.
Especially when it comes here from the Pacific. So when I see this and I know the palate of the Mexican people is growing, it's very educated, just as well as now in the United States. It used to be you serve sushi, and people say, "Oh, I like sushi," because they didn't know exactly what it is. But now when you serve sushi, you gotta serve quality.
It has to be the quality, and it has to be the variety available and all that sort of thing compared to a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of like wine. I can remember when I was a kid, wine was all served in jugs,
Yes.
and now it's served in bottles. What a difference in the taste.
Because we are learning, we're educating our palates. And so when we were tasting the scallops, and we talking about John Dory's or tornadoes, and we're saying we came out with these dishes because we wanted to utilize the freshness of the scallop, the freshness of the shrimp, and of course, the cucumbers and carrots.
Yeah.
It's
Well, when you come to Rosarito Beach Hotel in Rosarito Beach, Baja California, I want to suggest that you order the shrimps margarita here at the Casa Blanca. We've got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about an entree that I know you're going to like. It is tuna, but it has a Japanese twist because Chef Eric has decided that tuna done the regular way is nice, but doing it with a sashimi, a sesame type of a taste, you're going to like it even better. But we're going to talk about the tuna because you're not going to believe, not 20 miles from here is where it was raised, and it's sashimi grade. What does that mean? Stay tuned and we'll let you know. Be back right after this.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.
Welcome back to Tableside Du Jour. We're about to taste something that I'm really looking forward to for 2 reasons. One, it's the most popular entree item on the menu here at Casa Blanca, but Chef Eric has put a little twist to tuna. We're talking about sushi grade tuna. And I'm going to let Chef Eric tell us a little bit about that and where it comes from, because you're going to be very, very surprised. Listen to this.
Well as all of our seafood, those come from here, from the Pacific Ocean. Most of it, those goes to Japan, but we are so close, and we did first pick at it, and we've seen the quality a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost, I'm almost ashamed to cook it. It should be served raw, but you know, it's the quality. But we have created this dish with the sesame, the tuna, the sesame seed, that gives an amazing flavor, great combination, and the vegetables to pair with. And I think when you try it, it's going to be.
But what I like is you took local zucchini and you actually shredded it and made what you call zucchini noodles.
Yes.
To go along with it. I think that's pretty doggone cool. But the tuna, I want to mention a little bit more about that. It's not too far from here where they have a tuna farm. They actually raise tuna in the ocean in a confined area. This is such good high quality tuna that Japan buys most of it. And it's considered to be, in Japan, the best sushi grade tuna available. It comes not 5 miles from here in Baja California. You need to come down here and check out some of the food. And he also takes a little bit of that sesame along with it, and he makes a compound butter. And we're going to take a look at it here and see exactly how all that works.
I love tuna, and it's so healthy for you. And it's amazing. So when we tasted it,
I'm going to take a taste while you're talking. Go ahead.
When we tasted it, of course, we fell in love with the meat, with the flavors of the tuna, and so we decided it doesn't need to be too fancy, it doesn't need to add too much. So we decided a little bit of salt, pepper, and the black sesame seeds, and mango compound that I think you like a lot.
So this is kind of like a salsa, is it not? It's like a mango salsa. Yeah, it looks great, and I have to tell you, that tuna is absolutely outstanding. Now, do you have people say, oh, I don't want asparagus, or oh, I don't want mango salsa?
No.
Most people just want it the way you serve it, because you know, when you go to a restaurant, folks, you should accept whatever's on the menu based on what the chef wanted to prepare. You're in the chef's restaurant, so you're subject to tasting his food. If you don't like the way he makes the food, go to a different restaurant. It's almost like, and it's almost an insult, is to sit down, grab a salt shaker, and put it on your food before you ever taste it. First of all, from a health standpoint, doctors all around the world will tell you that's not a good habit to have. And number two, you're actually insulting the chef, because the chef tastes and makes sure everything that comes out of that kitchen tastes the way he or she thinks it should be. And then you sit down and without even trying it, put salt on it. Think about that. That's really not too cool. So what I suggest, take it, taste it, and then if you think it needs something different, that's a different story altogether. At my house, there are no salt and pepper shakers on the table. You have to be strong enough, if you will, to ask me for a salt shaker, if you know what I mean. So this is really nice, and this is one of the most popular entrees that you have on the menu. And what if we just want to come here and have a steak? Can we do that?
We have amazing steaks.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, also, I found out in the United States they only use Omaha steaks. They're amazing. Here, there's a small little place where they actually take their steaks and they send them to a small metal detector that tells me how much iron is on the steak.
No kidding.
It's a metal detector that they created for this. That way I can better prepare it for you. Or filet mignon is amazing.
So if I have a tuna in New York and it's a little chewy, it might be the iron? Is that
it might be, but also the steak.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I'm just joking, but I understand.
But yeah, when I went to visit these places, we want to think of meat or steaks, I was so impressed. I mean, put the steak to the metal detector. And I was like, okay, you say it.
It doesn't tenderize it or anything, it just detects iron. That's basically what it's all about.
Yeah. And that's how much they care about the quality. I think I'm very impressed with the quality, and also I don't know if you noticed, but everybody in the kitchen they cover their mouths and use gloves. Something that I haven't seen in a long time in many of the other countries that I've been.
Right.
When I was here and I was like, send that guy home because he hasn't covered. He doesn't have his mouth covered. And he's not wearing gloves. He's gonna lose a day. But I was like, wow, the quality of the product is just the same as the quality of the people preparing the product. And with that, I was very impressed. I wouldn't take.
Watch this now for dessert. We've all heard about custards and we've seen them, and maybe we've heard about creme brulee and maybe we haven't. But we want to show you how creme brulee really should be served, and I have to tell you, I get a chance to taste it. So watch this. So what we've taken sugar and turned it into caramel. That's truly what we've done with a little bit of fire. So if you're going to do it, make sure that you've got something close by in case there's an accident, that you can put the fire out, so to speak. And you don't put the fire out with anything like oil. You put the fire out with things like putting a lid on it or squashing it is probably the best. Sand is a very good thing, but most people don't have sand in their kitchen. But that'll work. Do not put baking soda, do not put flour on top of it. It'll only make it worse. So the good part is it not only looks good, but I'm going to tell you in a second how good it tastes. This is outstanding. Great custard, and a little mango won't hurt either.
And we have fresh blueberries.
Very good, Chef. And blueberries as well. So this is one of the favorite desserts here at Casa Blanca restaurant. And I have to tell you, if you get a chance, come to Baja California. The food here is incredible, mainly because most of it comes within a short range of here, including the wines, which we haven't mentioned. Just a few miles from here is a place called Guadalupe Valley. And Guadalupe Valley has now over 80 wineries. We're talking about in Mexico now, making excellent wines. They're winning awards all around the world, and there's some wineries that are very small and a few wineries that are pretty doggone good size. So check your neighborhood retail store and see if you can find it, or ask them if they can order some Mexican wines to taste it. Or better yet, come to Mexico and taste it in Baja California. Thank you for watching Tableside Du Jour. I'm your host, Les Kincaid, and I want to thank you for paying attention because I'd like to see you down here at Baja California. We're at the Rosarito Beach Hotel, and we're in the Casa Blanca restaurant. Now this sits on a piece of property that's been here for a number of years. It's only 30 miles south of San Diego, and it's got the ocean and beaches, and if you like horseback riding on the beach, it's right here. If you like pier fishing, the pier comes right out here at the hotel. You don't have to go somewhere else to do that. They've got beautiful rooms. They've got 2 restaurants that'll just knock your socks off. You like Mexican food? We're not talking about the one with the bell that rings. We're talking about authentic Mexican food. Or you like to have some high quality food, not only because of the fruits and vegetables are all grown around here, including the meat and the fish and the seafood, but the fact is the chef in the kitchen knows what to do with it when he gets it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Tableside Du Jour.